At first, it looked like nothing more than a small, fragile juvenile. But as we moved in closer, something about the head structure felt wrong. When we held it up to the light, the inside became almost completely visible. And that was the moment we noticed a thread-like structure running beside the spine, along with a dark internal mass. It no longer looked like a normal marine juvenile, and by the time we began measuring it, we already knew its size was small. But its anatomy was not. What it left behind was not a normal secretion. Dark biological particles were suspended inside the translucent material. Once we transferred the sample to a slide and magnified it, thin fibers appeared running through the gelatinous tissue. And the conclusion was clear. This sample did not match the normal tissue structure of any known juvenile marine organism. By the way, if you follow, that notification dropping into the lab would make us very happy. In the tank, its first clear response was to the light. As the beam moved closer, its body tightened and its movements changed. During the feeding test, it took the tissue sample quickly, but it did not chew. It held the food in its mouth and remained almost completely still. As the camera moved in, the only visible motion was a faint contraction in the throat. We documented every response. For now, one thing is clear. The specimen is small, but its behavior is anything but ordinary. We removed the specimen from the small tank and transferred it into the camera-monitored observation unit. This system is designed to capture even the smallest movement in real time. For the first few seconds, everything seemed calm. But the moment it settled into the water, its behavior changed. The body tightened, the movement slowed, and it became far more controlled than any normal juvenile marine specimen should be. That's why we stopped relying on direct observation alone. We activated the system and switched to live monitoring from the isolated room. And in close view, the most disturbing detail became clear. The mouth line did not look entirely normal. For now, this is our strongest finding. It may be small, but this specimen is clearly not ordinary. We will leave it alone for 24 hours. When we returned after one day, what we saw was exactly as expected. Our initial findings were correct, and the transformation had clearly progressed. The changes in its mouth were now fully visible. The current tank was no longer sufficient, so we decided to transfer it into a more advanced observation system capable of analyzing everything in real time. We'll observe it for a few more days. Don't forget to follow for part 2.